What it do, guys? Man, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I need this. If you're an OG, man, welcome back, and I love you. And don't act like we ain't never did this before. We gotta make the new guy feel welcome. But without further ado, let's get it started. Hey guys, have you always been this fly, cool, and undeniably gorgeous person that you are today? Your answer should be no. And I'm gonna tell you why. And if you said yes, you can't. Everybody has been ugly somewhere in this timeline. And if you ain't never heard of a glow up, you've been under a rock this whole time. I'm gonna tell you my little ugly story. I'm gonna tell you about the time I scared my crush away at middle school. The story starts in Memphis, particularly kindergarten. Yes, I met my crush in kindergarten, my first ever crush, but she was not my crush then. It started when I was in kindergarten. She was like not a year, maybe a couple months older than me, and it was so crazy. We started off like arch enemies. And out of nowhere, I'm playing with a toy truck, and that joint had some weight to it too, I'm not gonna lie. And this girl just flat out just kissed me on my cheek. And back then, we didn't play that, it was something called cooties out. And so I acted like it was the corona, honestly. So I like smacked her with the truck, like, wham! And I didn't know no better at the time, so, I wasn't a problem child, but you wasn't just finna just give me no disease. And back then, like, the cooties was like, I don't know. The cooties was the equivalent of the corona, and, for females, it was terrible to be a female back then, You just wanted to show some affection. You got thought written on your head. It was really like a thought disease transferred through kissing. Like, I ain't know nothing about herpes and nothing. This is kindergarten, so I'm like, get up off me. And that's how the story begins. I think she hates me. Like, I'm be very honest with you. I had like the worst ability when it came to reading the room possible. Like, it sucked. But yeah, I feel like in elementary school, I was like mentally a late bloomer. Like, I was just there. Like, I'm not even finna lie to you. If it wasn't in a book or taught in class, I was like retarded. Like, I was just that socially awkward dude. Like, even to this day, I still get stories about when I was in elementary school. Like, right before I moved to Atlanta, my 9th grade at White Station in Memphis, it was one girl, I don't even remember her name, but she remembered some dumb stories I did. I would like have full like dollars, 20s in my pocket, like in the wallet, from like gifts my grandparents give me and stuff like that. And I would make it my business to go to lunch and buy a cookie. And they were like $1 or $2. I would buy a cookie with straight pennies every single day. Like, and I feel like I ain't see nothing wrong with it, but to everybody else, I was holding that line up. And to this day, no one's letting me live that down, like, at all. But yeah, so to fast forward to when this all started, get back to middle school, and my body's changing, but I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know the first thing about sex, birds and bees, any of that. And so back then, I thought sex was just laying on top of each other, fully clothed. Like, that, so this story starts off, getting pretty crazy when we hit middle school, particularly like the 7th grade. she was at another middle school for like a year, and then came 7th grade, and we're back cool like, and that never happened. And so, me not knowing this whole time, we've lived like maybe 5 houses down from each other, because I never went outside. If it wasn't to hoop or go to the corner store, I wasn't coming outside. And she was even worse. Like, at the time, she was like one of those nerds that stayed in the house. You weren't finna catch her outside at all. And, you know, I lied. That was not the only time I was outside. I had, you know, some infatuation with rollerblades. Oh no! Which is just like that, the eyelid flipping kid. I was a rollerblader, and I know it was pretty bad. I grew out of all of this. And, like, you ain't got to worry about me rollerblading at 21 years old through Fayetteville. That's not happening. But I had like a deep passion for rollerblading after I seen roll bounce. I thought I was smooth, but I couldn't get no like roller skates. And so I'm in the neighborhood just dashing through, looking very retarded, like very retarded. And I didn't want anybody at the school finding out. And lo and behold, one day I'm dashing through. She catches me. Like, she's just sitting on her porch. We make eye contact. Like, I'm dashing. She's... Oh, hold on. So I was a Yui. I'm like, hey, you ain't finna tell nobody about this. I'm out here rollerblading. And, like, in middle school, I took being a jock very seriously. I could have probably done way more. And, made my life a lot easier. But I took being a basketball player very, serious. So my reputation was everything back in those days, which I probably didn't have one. But in my head, I thought I was like Michael Jordan. And you weren't finna catch Michael Jordan rollerblading in shorts. But I got caught. So I had to make sure she didn't say anything. So we're going to school. I'm sitting next to her on the bus, this and that, third, which I'm really dumb, because the way our school set up, the school was getting built, the middle school, and they were adding on grades as we were going. And so the bus wasn't picking you up from your house or nothing. Your parents had to drop you off at this this parking lot. So you never really knew who your neighbors were or anything like that. No bus route. You were just meeting at this random parking lot. And so I started sitting by. I was like, hey, so what's good with you? Trying to butter up, act like trying to keep her quiet. I didn't know how to keep anybody quiet. So I'm over here. Didn't know how to flirt at all. At this time, I didn't really think she was attractive because she was very conservative. Her mom was not playing none of that. And I went to a charter school, and so the uniforms were very revealing for the females. They had a lot of play. Dudes, you had to wear a full-on suit. I was like, oh my God, the only way you could possibly show off any type of drip was your shoe game. And it had to be very casual. Not even it had to be very formal. You had to wear penny loafers. And the only time I could get away with it is if there was a basketball game and I could wear my basketball warm up with my shoes. My shoe game was terrible back then, but I didn't know what I was showing off. When I tell you, I didn't really get any drip or glow up until 10th grade. Memphis, I'm known for as the rollerblading dude that couldn't really lift his eyelids yet, but he could play basketball though. Not in the game, but in the hood, he could play basketball though. And, I think this is 13-year-old me. Kindergarten to 13-year-old Marcus was not smooth at all.